I hate that shit.
And women do some strange ass shit too, though. They do be doing some strange ass shit. Both sides do strange ass shit. I can say that because look, all right. It kills me when a girl rejects a guy because she think they coming over there because of what she's wearing or how she look.
Mm-hmm.
But half the time, think about it. A guy done seen this girl numerous times before. He just finally built up the confidence to go over there and talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then go get shut down. And then like they just scream all in your face, all this other. Half the shit they be saying these days.
Shit.
And look, you just took this man whole life because he did it in public too.
Mm-hmm.
You took him from here to make him feel like he ain't shit. Now, say a girl came up to me, right? She trying to holler at me. She said, "Oh, you got my drink?" I said, look her up and I was like, "Who the fuck is you?"
Mm-hmm.
Make her feel a little and shit. "Oh, you masculine. This and third. You too big." And like, oh, you broke. You this, that, and third. They start. It's like women can defend themselves with words, but men can't really defend themselves. But then, like, they want us to express ourselves a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not even a little bit. I feel like we should express ourselves all the time.
I hate that shit with women though, man. You're not wrong. Like if
Exactly.
as soon as they feel like, or as soon as you do something they don't like, they always retort to like these insults that they get us with. Like, man, you know how many black women I done heard like get rejected, and they start going to like all the homophobic slurs, like,
Exactly.
oh, you a gay ass dude, like you this, that, and the third. Like, you only reinforcing the stereotypes that you say you trying to fight against. So, like, if a dude reject you or a dude like doing this and he like doing that, and that dude know his orientation, he reject you, and now all of a sudden you calling him this, he gonna build up that resentment towards that because
woman.
Yeah, like another woman, he gonna build that up towards gay people because now he getting insulted like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that little shit, man, and that's why, therapy is important, man, because
Oh God, hey,
man, I realized that a lot of shit that I had to go through emotionally was just finding that own self-worth. Because if you don't, then everybody's perception of you is what you go internalize and create about yourself.
Exactly.
And that should just break you down even further.
Exactly. Because actually, me and my therapist, we meet every Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and our conversations be about so many different things. Like, we deal with my relationship trauma, my family trauma. Like, you understand, being raised by a single mother. It realized, like, really, she's more like, that's a traumatic experience just along with that. People like, oh, you got your mom, yeah. But my mom had to end up being a dad to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that love and affection that I should have got from my mom, I never received.
Because she had to play both roles.
Exactly. So you got the confusion. Now my sisters, the funny thing about it, my sister, she's like an alpha dude, but she's a woman. But she's an alpha woman. Like, she good by her own and everything else too. I see like the problem with like when they don't allow the father to be in the lives too. Sometimes is I know it's not obligated, and like they don't want to be in the lives. That's different. But the father that want to be in the lives, a lot of women have a resentment towards the fathers and won't let the kids see their fathers. But actually, like I said, studies have shown that kids do better when they actually have their father in their life.
Mm-hmm.
If they had to do a single parent, it's more. If they're better in society and do better in life if it's raised by the father versus raised by the mother. And that's crazy. I was thinking.
Yeah, I never heard of no style like that. That's crazy.
And look, on top of that too, look. Funny thing, fathers never talk shit about the baby mamas at the time. And fresh in front of the kids.
Yeah, nah. But I done heard my mama talk hella shit about my father growing up.
Exactly.
Like,
look, and it's so funny because they're trying to tell us what we should not do, but when you look back at it, they did everything they told us not to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we are creatures of we do what we see versus what we hear.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can tell me this all day, but if your actions are showing me one thing versus the other, that means you saying it's okay to do what you're doing.
Facts.
And it's crazy because.
And then you internalize that, especially when you're a kid, and you think that's the way to go about things.
Exactly. Because look, I was asking a question to some people in the gym I work out at, it was basically towards women. I said, why can't y'all accept the word no? If you tell a woman no, she take that as a yes. She's like, no, you can't tell me no.
Or they try and get it out of you. Try and figure out what's the issue.
Exactly. So I was like, because really most women, when they hear the word no, they get furious and get upset, and then it's all hell breaks loose, right? I was like, why can't y'all accept the word no? And she was like, she just got so defensive and everything, because like, no, you should not be able to tell me no. But I was like, well, if I can't tell you no, should you be able to tell me no? She was like, yeah, because I was like, you can't have a double standard then in life.
That ain't fair to nobody.
Exactly, because like this whole world, I feel like is based off a whole double standard, and on top of that too, if you black, you got quadruple standards. Because literally, bruh, being black is a traumatic experience on top of it. Exactly. Because I was watching this video the other day. Some people gonna get mad when I say this, but I don't give a fuck. I learned to stop giving a fuck about what they say. I'm gonna just say how I really be feeling and shit.
Go ahead.
Man, let me turn this thing down, because look, it's supposed to be on silent anyway. But look, the white people ran this world for 400 years. The rest of the time, we've been into control. They ran it into the dirt. They said from Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, all the things they burnt up in Egypt was to make sure they whitewashed black people out of history, because we were the original people in this world. So you got to think about the traumatic experience that we go through every day, because I think the white people know this. No, I'm about to get deep. I think the white people know this.
You're not even wrong. That's the sad part, man.
Look, they get mad because after all the shit we've been through and all the shit that they put us through and how resilient we have been and came through that their masters still walk around with a smiling face, and they resent that every day, because they think about it, it's like, bro, how the fuck did the people that were ruling the world go all the way to the bottom? They can still walk around with a smile on their face. They can still, like, they're so resilient. Like, they get so defensive because they know who really run this shit. Like, they feel the power of our presence. So that's why every time they see us coming around, like, bro, damn, we don't gotta say nothing to them.
They hate seeing you have fun.
They feel it. Because look, I said this too, because I really feel like jewelry is everything. Is like more like or royal people dressed back in the day. Name the black people and every matter of fact, I'm gonna say melanated, because literally melanated people, on people that jewelry look good on.
Not wrong.
And that means the same thing like the Polynesians, Mexicans, Latinos, Native Americans, or Africans. Like real shit. I started thinking like this too, considering like I'm gonna build on top of this. So like I said, they got rid of everything about us in Egypt, right? So imagine this. How you win? You divide and conquer, right?
That's white history right there, man. Just conquer and destroy. Pretend like it was yours.
Exactly. So I was watching this movie with how they took over Hawaii, because they called them savages, because the way they dressed, it was not like how they dressed, and the way they talk was not how the way they talk. But they were actually the highest fluent in language and everything and literacy in Hawaii. And they used the Bible to go around and conquer these places. So I started thinking about it, like, damn. They came over and called us savages. It's the same thing they called us in Africa, the same thing they said to the Mexicans, same thing they said to the Native Americans. What if they just did that to divide us even more and put a title on us? Because just because you're from Hawaii, they made them Hawaiians. Same because they say they're from Mexico, they named them Mexicans. What if we were actually all one race, but except them? And they just try to divide us so they think they could place us against each other. So we battle each other for the second rate. Because if you think about it, if all melanated people were considered one race, who is the majority?
The melanated people.
The melanated people.
Especially the way America going down now.
Exactly. We're the majority. But then on top of that, think about this. They always call us savages. Have you ever seen a black caveman?